Hi, my name is Mohammed Radi, and welcome to our PowerPoint session number two. Our topic is going to be what are the process groups of any project according to the PMBOK Guide, fourth edition. And please make sure that this PMBOK Guide, fourth edition, those who are going to sit for the exam before 31st of July. Um, what are the process groups of any projects according to PMBOK Guide? Our objective today, through this session, by the end of the session, you should be able to answer the following questions. What action are needed to accomplish process groups? What are the output of each process group? Uh, I'd like you again to use page 43 as a roadmap when you are reading chapter 4 and chapter 10, uh, and make it handy. Uh, in initiating, uh, it is made up of only two processes: develop project charter, and the outputs is going to be the project charter. And I'll come in another session to talk about in more details about the outputs. The second thing, identify stakeholders. The outputs is going to be stakeholder register and the stakeholder management strategy. Um, but having said that, I'd like to go in more details a little bit in the initiating. Again, I'd like to remind you that remember that we are going to go through this session by process group, not by knowledge area. When you conduct the project selection methods, you're doing this to evaluate the feasibility of new products, service, or results. When you identify and you document the high-level risk and assumption, constraint using historical data and expert judgment, and then you are going to, in this initiating phase, you will assign a project manager. You know his authority of the project, the project manager. You will develop measurable project objective and product service results objectives, and you will identify the stakeholders, their influence, their tolerance with the risk, and you perform analysis to gain buy-in and the requirement for the success of the project. The second phase is going to be second stage is a planning process group. And again, I'd like you to use the page 43. Here we see that I summarize it, and I hope you can do the same. It is made up of 20 processes. The output of one process are often used as input into a subsequent planning process. What that mean? Excuse me. When you define the scope, there is the output is a project scope statement. You are going to use the project scope statement as input when you create the work breakdown structures. And the output of when you create the work breakdown structures, you are going to define activities when you are talking about the excuse me, when you are going to talk about the schedule. So as you see here, when you develop the project management plan, we are going to talk about the planning process. We are going to talk about the project integration management knowledge. But again, we are going to go through all this stage by stage, phase by phase, through planning, not by knowledge area. In this here, having said that, I'd like you to it is not going only to develop project management plan. There's other things, and I'll highlight the most important things. When you identify key project team members, uh, and you define their roles and responsibility to create a project organization structure to develop communication plan. Um, and then here you have to create the work breakdown structures with a team to develop the cost, the schedule, resource and quality, and the procurement plans. When you identify project risk, to define risk strategies and develop the risk management plan. And here, when you define and record the detailed project requirements, you have to mention the constraint and the assumption with the stakeholders to establish the project deliverable. And then when you develop the change management plan, to define how changes will be handled to manage the triple constraint. And when you get the obtain the project plan approval, the kickoff meeting will start with all key stakeholders. The the next one is going to be monitoring and the planning. I'm sorry, the executing process group. And it is here I enumerated here, summarize it, and I hope you do the same. You know, this it's made up of 8 processes. Think of executing as an implement or do steps. Purpose is to complete the work defined in the project management plan to meet the project objective. Here you will manage proactively the resource allocation by ensuring that the appropriate resources and tools are assigned to the task according to the project plan. You will execute the task defined in the project plan in order to achieve the project goals. You will ensure a common understanding and set expectations through communication to align the stakeholders and team members. You improve team performance by building team cohesiveness, leading to mentoring, training, motivating in order to facilitate cooperation, ensure project efficiency, and boost morale. Implement a quality management plan to ensure that work is being performed according to required quality standard. You implement, approve the changes according to the change management plan. You will obtain project resources in accordance with the procurement plan. You will implement the approved actions and workarounds required to minimize the impact of project risk. Excuse me. And again, I'm still emphasizing on using page 43 as a roadmap. So we'll go to the monitoring and the controlling. It is made up of 10 processes. Purpose is to be sure that the plan is working through measuring, monitoring, controlling, inspecting, reviewing, comparing, verifying, reporting. If you see the above terms on the exam, think of monitor and control process. Executing processes are carrying out the plan. Monitor and control process, monitoring and controlling processes are comparing the results of executing process against the plan. Here, you measure project performance using appropriate tools and technique. You will verify and manage changes to the project scope, project schedule, and the project costs as defined in the change management plan. Monitor the status of all identified risk, identify any new risk, take corrective action, and update the risk response plan. Ensure the project deliverable conform to quality standard established in the project quality plan. The next step is going to be monitoring and controlling process group. I'm sorry, the closing process group. Again, use the page 43. Yes, we are at the last stage here, closing. It is made up of 2 processes. You close any procurement, any contract must be closed after a product has been identified, verified against the scope, delivered to the customer satisfaction. When you close the project or phase, a project record must be updated. Project archives need to be updated. Lesson learned need to be updated, and then you release resources. Um, it is here more. I add something more. I hope you Google it, or you can use another other those PMP exam prep. When you obtain the final acceptance for the project, and you communicate the lesson learned, archive and retain project record in order to retain organization knowledge. You will obtain financial and legal um, you will obtain financial and legal and administrative project closure. You release all the project resources. You create and distribute the final project report. You'll measure the customer satisfaction at the end of the project. That's very close to what I've said in this slide. It's not going to be any difference. And I'd like to thank you, and please contact me through my email, mradi@projectmetricssolutions.ca. And if you'd like to contact me through the Skype, my Skype name, through the Skype, my Skype name is project.metrics.solutions, and I'll see you in my next session. Thank you. Bye.